Have you ever wondered what impacts the caffeine content in your coffee? As it turns out, the caffeine kick you get from your favorite cup of joe isn't just about how much coffee you use, but a complex interplay of factors that start right from the coffee farm. First off, the type of coffee beans used can greatly sway the caffeine levels. Arabica beans, known for their smooth taste, are widely loved, but it's the Robusta beans that pack a powerful caffeine punch, boasting nearly twice the caffeine content. Next, the roast level of the beans plays a part too. Contrary to popular belief, darker roasts can actually have less caffeine than their lighter counterparts. Then comes the brewing method. Drip, espresso, French press. Each brewing style extracts caffeine differently, impacting your coffee's caffeine content. Last but not least, the serving size matters. More coffee equals more caffeine. Let's delve deeper into these factors, shall we? First off, let's talk about coffee beans. You see, not all coffee beans are created equal. There are two main types of coffee beans that are used for most of the coffee we drink, Arabica and Robusta. These two beans, while similar in appearance, have distinct differences that greatly influence the caffeine content of your morning brew. Arabica beans, the more popular of the two, are often favored for their smoother, somewhat sweeter taste. They are the stars of the coffee world, gracing the shelves of gourmet coffee shops and artisan roasters. But when it comes to caffeine, they're a bit more on the reserved side. Now, enter Robusta beans. These beans might not have the same reputation for a refined flavor profile as their Arabica cousins, but they pack a punch where it counts: caffeine. Robusta beans contain nearly twice as much caffeine as Arabica beans. That's right, twice as much. So, if you're reaching for that instant coffee blend in the morning, there's a good chance it's a mix of both Arabica and Robusta beans. This gives you a blend of both the smooth taste of Arabica and the caffeine kick of Robusta. In essence, the type of bean used can significantly impact the caffeine content of your coffee. From the mild Arabica to the robust Robusta, each bean brings something unique to your cup. So, the type of bean used in your coffee does matter when it comes to caffeine content. Now, does the roast of your coffee beans influence the caffeine content? A question that's been brewing among caffeine connoisseurs for ages. The roast level of your coffee beans indeed plays a pivotal role in determining the caffeine content. Here's the scoop. The roast can be categorized into 3 levels: light, medium, and dark. Contrary to popular belief, it's not the dark roast but the light roast that packs the most caffeine. The roasting process breaks down the caffeine molecules. Hence, the longer the beans are roasted, the less caffeine they contain. This means that a cup of dark roasted coffee with its rich, bold flavors actually has less caffeine than its light roast counterpart. Surprising, isn't it? But that's the beauty of coffee. It never ceases to astonish and delight. So if you're looking for a stronger caffeine kick, go for a lighter roast. It might just be the jolt you need to jumpstart your day. You might be surprised to learn that the way you brew your coffee also affects its caffeine content. Each brewing method, be it drip, espresso, or French press, extracts caffeine differently, thus varying the kick you get from your cup. Let's start with the drip or filter method. This is the most common method of brewing coffee at home. The process involves hot water passing slowly over the coffee grounds, allowing it to extract a substantial amount of caffeine. However, it's worth noting that the longer brewing time also means a more pronounced bitterness. Now let's turn our attention to the espresso method. The high-pressure extraction process used in brewing espresso results in the highest concentration of caffeine per volume. That's why a single shot of espresso gives you such a jolt. But here's the kicker. Despite its strength, a serving of espresso actually contains less total caffeine than a serving of drip coffee, simply because the serving size is much smaller. Lastly, there's the French press method. This method involves steeping the coffee grounds in hot water for several minutes, which can result in a higher caffeine content than the drip method. However, the resulting brew is also more robust and full-bodied, which may not be to everyone's taste. So the brewing method you choose can significantly change your caffeine experience. Lastly, let's discuss how serving size impacts the caffeine content in your coffee. Now, you might think that a larger cup of coffee automatically means more caffeine, right? Well, that's not necessarily the case. Let me explain. When we talk about serving size, we're referring to the volume of the coffee, not the amount of coffee grounds used to brew it. So, if you're using the same amount of coffee grounds but simply adding more water, you're not actually increasing the caffeine content, you're just diluting it. Imagine you have a jug of coffee concentrate. You pour it into 2 cups. One is a regular-sized coffee cup, and the other is a large mug. You then fill up both cups with hot water. The coffee in the larger mug might be weaker in taste because it's been diluted more, but the actual caffeine content from the concentrate remains the same in both cups. Now, let's consider a different scenario. Suppose you decide to make a larger serving of coffee by using more coffee grounds. In this case, yes, the caffeine content will increase because you're using more coffee. But remember, the strength or intensity of the coffee's taste is not solely determined by its caffeine content. Other factors, like the type of bean, roast level, and brewing method, play crucial roles too. So if you're looking for a caffeine boost, don't just reach for the biggest cup in your cupboard. Consider the type of coffee you're using and how it's been brewed. If you're using a dark roast or a blend that's high in Robusta beans, for instance, you might find you get more of a kick from a smaller serving than you would from a larger serving of a lighter roast or a blend that's high in Arabica beans. It's important to remember that while caffeine can give you a boost, it's also a stimulant, and consuming it in large amounts can have side effects. So, always enjoy your coffee responsibly. So, a larger serving size doesn't necessarily mean more caffeine, but it does mean more coffee. So, there we have it. We've embarked on a journey through the intriguing world of caffeine, understanding how the type of coffee beans, the roast level, the brewing method, and even the serving size all play a crucial role in the caffeine content of your coffee. Remember, Robusta beans pack a punch, darker roasts lose some caffeine, brewing methods matter, and size isn't everything. Next time you're brewing your cup of joe, remember these factors and enjoy your caffeine just the way you like it.